Right now, roughly 1 in every 10 Filipinos does not live in the Philippines. They are nurses in London, sailors in the middle of the Pacific, engineers in Dubai, and caregivers in Hong Kong. Every year, they send home around $35 billion, money that quietly holds up an entire economy. No other country on earth has sent its own people out into the world quite so deliberately or so successfully. But here is the thing. This was not an accident, and it did not start recently. It began more than 400 years ago on a wooden ship. This is the story of how one nation ended up almost everywhere. 4 chapters. By the end, you will look at your own neighborhood a little differently. Let us start on that ship. Part 1. In 1565, Spain opened a trade route between Manila and Acapulco. For 250 years, enormous galleons crossed the Pacific, and they were crewed largely by Filipino sailors. Life on those ships was brutal, so when they reached the Americas, many of them simply did not get back on. Some slipped away into the marshes of Louisiana and built quiet fishing villages on stilts. That was already the 1700s. Filipinos were living in North America before the United States even existed, and they are counted among the first Asians to permanently settle on the continent. The pattern was set early. Wherever the ships went, some Filipinos stayed and made a home. Part 2. In 1898, everything changed. The United States took control of the Philippines, and for nearly 50 years, Filipinos were American nationals who could travel to the mainland freely. Bright students called pensionados were sent to study at American universities. Thousands of young men, the Manongs, sailed to Hawaii and California to work the fields. And crucially, American teachers rebuilt the school system entirely in English. A whole nation grew up speaking the language of the world's largest economy. That one decision would echo for a century. Without anyone quite planning it, the Philippines was becoming one of the most globally ready workforces on the planet. Part 3. After the Second World War, America had a deep shortage of nurses, and the Philippines had English-speaking graduates. So the country did something remarkable. It began training nurses specifically for the world, building schools aimed at demand overseas. Today, Filipino nurses care for patients on every continent. The Sea told the same story. Filipinos now make up around a quarter of all the world's merchant sailors, the people who quietly move the goods you buy every day. Nurse and seafarer became national callings, honored and aspired to. The Philippines was no longer only sending people abroad, it was carefully preparing them to thrive there. Part 4, the last one. In 1974, the government made it official policy. Overseas work was encouraged, organized, and celebrated, and a whole system was built to send workers to the Gulf, to Hong Kong, and to the world, then bring their earnings safely home. The government began calling them Bagong Bayani, the new heroes. And honestly, they are. Every single one is a person who left the people they love to build a better life for them. So why are there Filipinos everywhere? Because of 400 years of ships, empire, language, and one very deliberate choice, all carried by families willing to cross the whole planet for each other. Look around your own town. They are probably closer than you think. Subscribe or do not. I am a cat.